Hi, my name is Leslie Gilmore, and I wanted to reflect on this past week's readings. I found all of them to be super interesting, but the one I liked the most was in Gwen Solomon's book in chapter 6. It was the digital storytelling, and I've said a lot about this in my post earlier this week, but I wanted to elaborate more on how it can help me in the future and help my students in the future. So first, I'm not going to really read tons about digital storytelling because everybody's read that already, but it's on page 104. What I did want to read was the steps to digital storytelling and the elements of it. I wanted to explain why is it more beneficial than just regular old-fashioned storytelling. So first, I want to discuss the steps. And like any story, you first have to brainstorm and develop a topic. And what is your purpose for writing? What's the purpose for developing a story? Second, you have to discuss expectations and assessments. What do you want? What do you need to see out of this story? Things like that. Third, you have to create a storyline or an outline, something to go off, a guide type of thing to outline your story for. Fourth, you have to discuss how the images can help contribute and communicate your idea and communicate your message. You want the images to enhance and to really portray your idea and your overall message. You obviously need a digital camera to kind of portray that, obviously the word digital. You need to identify the elements of the digital story, what makes it different from just regular storytelling. And also, you can use editing tools in this process. So those were the digital steps. I want to talk about the digital elements as well. In any story, you have to have voice. You have to write in third or first person, and it's easiest for me to write in first person. I feel like I have more of my opinion and my voice and my characteristics in the story. Second, you have to have characters and how they're going to play a part in your story and what each character kind of demonstrates, things like that. The picture should help tell the setting of the story. That's kind of where the story takes place. The pictures can really help with that. The conflict, obviously every story has a conflict. You need to tell either a disagreement or struggle or some type of conflict that contributes to your story and the message. And then the photos come in visually. You need to have images either of yourself, online, something to portray your message a little bit deeper. And number 6 is pacing. Set the stage by using a rising action, create drama, using conflicts, things like that in any regular story. So you can see that some of these things are similar to just regular storytelling, but I wanted to give an example of a storytelling video that I found online by a professional teacher, and I wanted to share it now.
Art as a way of thinking. Of all the changes that have occurred in my life, one thing, besides my family, has maintained a strong presence: art. Art provides me with an outlet for expression of who I am, what I value, and what I see in the world around me. Art provides me with a way of thinking. What do I mean by this? Why is art important? One of the main reasons that I decided to become an art educator is to share the importance of art with students, to show how it affects our lives. In 21st century education, there is a big problem. It seems that state and local legislators have forgotten the importance of the arts and cut budgets here first. So it is our job to show them the error of their ways. While subjects such as English, math, science, and history are important in school, art is just as important and should not be thought of as just an elective. First, art enhances our skills of observation and perception. To create art, students must first learn to draw from the world around them. They must become more aware of their environment. This is an important skill in our increasingly visual world. Next, students must learn more about themselves, personal expression. When creating art, students extend an expression of themselves into their work. Not only do they discover their own creativity, students are challenged to use their critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Art assignments involve skills represented at the higher levels of Bloom's taxonomy. They present a problem, issue, or idea that students must solve or represent visually. Third, art is important because it is a consistent element that ties us to past and present cultures. Before people could write, they were expressing life through pictures. Don't you think a tradition that has survived for millennia should continue? Art that is brought to the U.S., much of it to Houston, connects us to cultures from both past.
I'm gonna stop the video right there. It's kind of a longer video, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse of kind of what digital storytelling is and why I like that so much. That's more of a professional digital storytelling. And I really liked it because it tells, not just vocally, but with pictures, how important this educator thinks art is in our world today. And that's just an easy way to portray how important it is and how to emphasize her message of how art can contribute to a child's life. Obviously, this is a little more complex compared to what elementary students would be doing, but as a future teacher, an elementary school teacher, I want to encourage my students to do these because I feel like they could really enhance their learning and their knowledge in digital technology. For example, I want them to be able to know how to organize their thoughts in a complete and technical digital manner. An example of doing this is my students could document kind of their progress in elementary school from kindergarten to about 3rd grade, and they can put images and achievements and things that they succeed through in their life in this digital story, and it would make for a great storytelling book to introduce themselves or to reflect on the great things that they've done in the past 3 or 4 years. And so I think that digital storytelling can help students. It can help them reflect. It can also help them create and organize their thoughts in a better and more efficient way and become more digitally in tune. And along with this video, I'm going to connect you to a link of my digital storytelling. And so I think with that said, I have really loved this digital storytelling explanation from chapter 6, and that's about my reflection for this week's readings.